Next big news topic I wanted to switch gears to, lads, is Paul Pogba at Manchester United. This is a big topic over here in England. Everyone is always kind of having their say on Pogba, how he slots in at United, where should he play. And it's kind of shocking to think he's been back at United now since he re-signed from Juve for 4 years. And we're still kind of having these questions, right? We're still asking, what's his best position? Is he a guaranteed starter? How can he be put into this team by Solskjær without taking away the balance? I'm going to kick this off by saying this might be left field, and there's a reason I've said that, because I think his best position is probably on the left. I remember watching him when he was much younger at Juve in the Champions League against Manchester City, and he almost ran the game from the left side of midfield. It gave him a little bit more space to operate in, to see those passes, a little bit more space to run down the wing, cut inside rather than congested central areas. And he's been used pretty much here, there, and everywhere. Deeper roles for France and United, number 10, obviously wide there. And I think that was a really good spot for him. So, Andy, I can see you nodding your head there. So I feel like you have a very strong opinion on this. What happens now for Pogba at United? Because nobody seems to know what direction this is going to go in.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you allowed to have anything besides a strong opinion about Paul Pogba? You can't have a halfway. You have to be fully convicted in your opinion of Paul Pogba when you log onto the internet. It's the only way to discuss Paul Pogba is he's either the best player in the world or he's the worst player in the world. He is such a polarized figure. Part of that comes from going to United. Part of that comes from, just the personality and the loud personality, the haircuts and the fashion and the social media posts, which is, absolutely nothing wrong with any of those things. But he gets, taken up to the woodshed in a way that a lot of other players don't for a lot of the very same things. And so, he's always going to be a topic that somebody wants to debate. Somebody wants to put him down. Somebody will always defend him as well. I was thinking as you were talking there, Joe, about him playing on the left, and I don't even know if it's as much of a positional thing as it is a system thing. So when he's playing there on the left for Juventus, he's doing so with an all-out wing back playing there on that left side with him. And so he is essentially he's a space filler at that point, because the wing back is bombing forward and providing all the width and attack. And so he is then kind of rotating in defensively out wide, where he's got the physicality, the athleticism, the smarts as well to defend in space in that area. But he's also got the ability to tuck inside in possession and drive forward and carry the ball. That's the one thing he did the most for that Juventus team, because it was with Pirlo playing behind him and Kwadwo Asamoah, and those two just did all the work in the midfield, and it worked. And so you look at who his managers have been at United. Jose Mourinho, the last person I would trust to really get a performance out of a player like that. That's not a slam on Mourinho. That's just the way that he has been for the majority of his managerial career. And now Solskjær, all due respect to him, I just think he's completely out of his depth at a club like Manchester United. And so he hasn't really failed United like I think a lot of people have. He's been failed by the club at every level since he was re-signed. The managers haven't been great, but they've been hired by somebody who's been even worse than them. So it's a trickle-down problem at Manchester United. And Paul Pogba, I think, bears the brunt of it because he is the biggest name, the biggest face, the one that everybody knows, and he's an easy target.
Nick, what about you? Can he play with Bruno Fernandes? That's like the one big question, right? Centrally, can the balance be kept at United to have those two star players? And they are stars. They're wonderful talents. But you kind of almost lose the solidity defensively, right, if they're both playing together. What's your thoughts on that midfield situation? I know you have some strong Donny van de Beek thoughts on this as well.
Yeah, I think a good manager would have figured it out. And I hate to just keep rallying on Solskjær. Seems like a nice guy. But Fred and McTominay, or Fred
nice guy,
and Matt,
tries hard.
Yeah. The worst thing you can hear. Seems like a great guy.
Great job, great effort, right? Look, I just think you've got to find a way for it to work. And we keep seeing, again, another lovely man in Daniel James. But are you telling me that the new Jesse Lingard is better than Paul Pogba there? They bought Donny van de Beek, which to me rang out like they were going to sell Paul Pogba. One of them could be your number 8 next to Bruno. But if you don't trust, Bruno's been incredible, by the way. Absolutely wonderful player. So he's your attacking mid. He's the focus of your attack. If you don't have a guy you can play next to him, so you got to drop 2 guys behind him, do you think Man City or Liverpool or any of these other big teams is going to say, wow, my attacking mid is so bad defensively that I'm just going to put 2 guys behind him who are just going to stand there. I just don't see it happening. And as far as his reputation, real quickly, wasn't that just ruined? Is that the Sir Alex effect? We all agreed that he does, not we all agreed, but it's been generally agreed that he does nothing wrong. And he's the guy who said he couldn't cut it. So there's a nation of Manchester United fans who say, Sir Alex was right, Sir Alex was right, Sir Alex was right. And I think that carries a ton of weight.
Pogba's talent is undoubted. And what many people here are saying, is he just a talent or is he a player? Does he have all the ability, but maybe the game situations, he's not put, like Andy said, in the right positions by his coaches? I think it's a mixture of everything because we've seen him be brilliant for France. He's a World Cup winning player, was influential in that team, can play slightly deeper. Didier Deschamps gave him a much more disciplined role, can easily do that. So I do think it's a case of him being made a scapegoat time and time again. He has the talent. Project Restart, when he was fit, played really well with Fernandes as a 2. But then again, United were kind of going for it. And he had a lot of winnable fixtures, let's not forget, in Project Restart. So I think it's, for me, I'd love to see him line up on the left. That means maybe pushing Rashford to the right, Greenwood dropping out, Martial, you got Cavani maybe starting up front. There's a lot of options there, but I think you have to try and get all of your best players on the pitch for Man United right now and try and work out balance-wise around that. And it's the same, right, in any sport, in the NBA, NFL. You try and get all your best playmakers on the field at the same time and hope that they're obviously talented enough to make it work and make it happen. So, lads, I don't know, final thought, maybe 30 seconds each on Pogba and where we go from here, because he's consistently linked to moves away. Consistently, we're not sure if he's going to sign new contracts or whatever at United. So who knows what's going to happen here?
Yeah, quick point, too. France is the big point. You made the point, and I want to just underline it. The guy won a World Cup. He's a fixture for them in one of the most talented midfields in the world that only gets to train together once a month at best. So, Ole, your move. And the second part is pretty straightforward as well. I hate Mino Raiola. I mean, I don't know him as a person, but he's the one who, in January, Pogba is injured. He's out of the picture. United fans aren't worried about him. And he comes up and says, I don't think Solskjaer is the man for the job. So as long as guys like that exist, what are we doing? It's like a manager who has his only job is to keep getting more money coming in. So that it bothers me a lot.
This will be very brief. I think the best way to sum it up is if you have a problem with Paul Pogba, you're probably the problem. That goes for managers. That goes for he is just a player of a quality and caliber and level that we're going to look back. How long is it going to have to be before we look back and say, wow, just what a wasted period of his career and the most important part of his career by a club that just had no idea what it was doing. And that's an absolute shame.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe. Make sure you subscribe to watch highlights all season long and always join us every weekend at 7 a.m. on NBCSN for Premier League mornings. Plus, make sure you subscribe to Peacock Premium as well, where you can watch exclusively live 175 games and same-day on-demand replays of all 380 Premier League matches as well.